Hey guys, so this is the first video that we're going to dive into Azulara. This is the alphabet, and we're going to be covering pages 1, 4 through 5, and 12. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go in the description below and click the link. You can actually download a packet that I prepared for you all to learn the language, and also while you're there, download the dictionary that I will actually upkeep and keep adding words as time moves on. And also you can download the font and be able to type in the language. And also send me videos and photos of you guys talking and writing in Azulara. I would love to see them and maybe even make a compilation video later on. Hello everybody. In this video we're going to go over the alphabet. Before I do that, I want to show you what pen I will be using. It is a Zig calligraphy pen 1.0. They come in also 2 and 3. But if you're wanting to kind of follow along and with writing it, just probably type this in Google and you'll be able to find it. I'll try to put a description or like a link in the description below this video. So without further ado, we do have to go through every single letter, and hopefully this will not be too long, but let us begin. So in Azulara, we don't necessarily have individual letters for vowels, and I'll explain that later. So we're not going to start with A. We're actually going to start with B, which actually is pronounced be. And so make sure the tip, because like this, it's a calligraphy pen, so the tip, there's like a sharp point, so I have to make sure it's on the right spot. So we write it like this. That's B, or be. Then we go to a soft D, which is actually ad. And you write it like that. And there will be a hard D. It's also called de. The difference between this is, so let's say, kind of like in how it's named, ad. It has a soft D sound. It's not ad, it's ad. And then de is kind of more like with your tongue, rather than like D, how we do it. It's more like de, with your tongue right behind your teeth. These also have variants. You don't have to write them this way, because sometimes, so like if you had like another letter right here and it goes up instead, you can actually write it like this and then have the next letter. It can't be like this though if you have the letter going down and it ends up crashing into it. But this is a nice way to kind of condense some things and not just have it longer than it needs to. Same thing with the soft D, so add. All right, next one is fi, which is our F sound. Goes down like this, curls. I'm going to do that one more time. Try to make it a little more straight. There we go. So that's fi. And the next one is ge. And it's kind of like the be, but it curls around like that. And these two can have variants as well, especially if you have them in the same word. It can get a little congested, so you might have the be be kind of longer and then the ge be like a little bit shorter, just to find room for them. But not very many words have those. The next one is he, which is the H sound. The next one is jun. It's kind of like how we pronounce vision, like j, that j sound. And the next one is jo, kind of like in John. And then the next one is ke. It's kind of like a K. So funny. Someone said, like, that looks like that's just a J when they weren't understanding what I was doing. This is actually kind of more inspired by an Arabic K sound. The next one is he. And it kind of looks the same, but then it has this. Maybe not that long. Like that can be fine. You can try to variant this like this if you want to, depending on things, but it's not used very often. Next one is lem, which is like our L. And the next one is mi, which is like an M. There you go. Let me write that again so you can see it. Something like that. I'm going to write it again because I want to. There we go. Next one is ni. It's kind of like N. And then po, which is just a cute little dot or dash right there. Then re, kind of like R. I mean, little different ways to do it. You can kind of like that. The next one, not last one, is re, which is the rolled R. This one's used a lot. Then it's C, kind of like an S. Let's do it again. Kind of more like that. And then T, kind of like our T. Then V. And then wo. This one can be a variant as well. Kind of, maybe not quite like that. Goes down and out like that. You don't want to like take too quick to write these letters. You want to, draw them out, make them look kind of pretty. Then we have zen. And then kind of like, well, in English we have two letters to make a sh sound. That's actually one letter in this, and it's called she. And then we have thi. It's the soft TH sound. I'm going to do that one more time. That's better. And then tho, which is like the. It's a hard TH. And the last consonant is ye, so it's kind of like a Y. It's more of like a vowel connector because it kind of plays as like a vowel sometimes. So those are the consonants. And you're going to want to make sure you actually have, when you're writing in full sentences, to have two spaces in between each line of text, because when you have, well, actually no, maybe this could work, because then you might have a vowel being displayed down here while a vowel is up here. Actually, yeah, so this could work. Never mind. But I will now show you the vowels. First one is ah, and just for the sake for showing what it looks like, I have it in the example in the packet, how it displays with a letter. Oh, my bad, I didn't see it. Didn't work there. So this is the ah right here, this little dash. And then we have a. So this, we're going to write ad right here, and then write the a sound. And then we actually so if you're going to have two vowels on either side of a consonant, instead of actually having to do something like, so let's pretend this is ada. Instead of having to do that, you can actually use the double vowel, and that implies that there are two ah sounds. You're not going to have two a sounds in the language, just two ah. So this would be ada. However, like in an actual, let's actually do a word. That's ada, which is 8. This is the soft D. There isn't a soft D with a vowel over like that. So That's 8. Ada. All right, so now to E. E is this way. So actually that's E. That's how you pronounce it, is E. And the next one is E. And then we have the double E. Plays the same role. And then we have I. And then E. It's another E, but it's using with the I. And then the long I sound, I, which is up. Yeah. And then the double I sound. Oh, my bad. I get so caught up in it and I'm not watching where I'm going. Double I sound is that. Double E sound is the inverse of that. Like that. Then we go to O. So the pronunciation of the O is not A, it's O, which is really important. It's just a dot like that. And then you can have a double O like that. And then we go to A. Move it over a little bit. Or is that, sorry. That's U. So I guess we'll do that one first. U, as in like Suvian. This one's It's like a weird looking smiley face. And then a double U. There isn't a double so don't have to worry about that. So that's what a double would look like. All right, so in this language, you wouldn't, or just with the pronunciation of like, especially the it's more of an not an sound like in English. So I guess you can say it's more British in that way. But there are instances where the A sound actually does sound like or at least closer to it. So ale. So this is actually what you would say before saying, we're going to jump ahead a little bit, him or her, or his / hers. You would put that ale and before one of these words just to show respect to them. However, so yeah, it won't be alle, it's ale. Just a little something. So, but most of the time it's going to sound like rather than a. All right, there were 2 more vowels I kind of forgot, and they're kind of important. So, kind of like diphthongs, but not really. First one is ia, which is that. And then ie. So the first one's ia, and this is ie. And yeah, so those are the last 2 vowels there. Okay, so now you're going to probably see on the packet that there's a ve and a me, which is like, what in the world is that? So this is ve. I can do that a little better. And me is like this. So what this is, so ve is like saying, if I guess Eric's dog. Eric's. So to display ownership, it actually would look like this: dog ve Eric. So then to type it let's actually do it, or type it, and I'm writing. So Rika ve Eric. So actually it would be all one word. Rika ve Eric. And to write it in the language in Azulara would be Rika There we go. So Rika ve Erik, or Eric, because I don't have the rolling R. This would be Erik. So that's what it'll look like, and we'll go over kind of like how it's written a little bit in a little bit later. Okay, so in me is actually a name being connected to a verb. And this will be explained in video 9. I'm not going to even get into this, but it's kind of in the same way. Dog ve Erik. This would be a verb. Then you have me, and then the name. But I will get that in another video, as it's too much to do right now. All right, so now punctuation. You have pretty much 3 punctuation, not much more than that. You don't have quotation marks. In context, you'll know someone's talking based on what's being said in the sentence. So let's see if I'll just put, so a period is like that. There's a dot right at the end there. And so with exclamation marks and question marks, you're actually going to put them at the beginning of a sentence, and you'll still have a period at the end of every sentence. So if we go over here and pretend that this is a sentence, the question mark is like that. Here, let's do that one more time up here. Make sure So that's a question mark. And then an exclamation mark is like that. It's kind of like a proclaimed statement. So mostly Azulara is a little more nasally. That might help just kind of to pronunciate words correctly. If we try to gutturalize it way too much, it's easy to kind of get trapped in the pronunciation of words. So as we go through words, try to put things nasally, but don't like do this. It's more, it's like place your voice a little bit more at the top of your mouth rather than like at the back of your mouth, and it would hopefully that makes sense. It may take some practice, and hopefully I can do that in these videos so that you know what it sounds like. All right. So also I want to go over a little bit more on how things are written, how how letters go together when making words. All right. So as you see here, you see that these are the consonants, and the vowels are separated from the consonants. And I mean, you saw that probably before as well. If a vowel is after a consonant, it is sounded after a consonant. If it's before a consonant, it is sounded, well, before a consonant. And there's no real rule as to where to put them, because actually for this, so the word rika, which is dog, can actually look like this as well. There's no real way, or there's nothing keeping you from doing either one. The only way you would want to choose one versus another is for just the sake of clarity. If this is more clear to read and understand, then do it that way. There are other words where the vowels might get a little congested, and so you want to make sure you organize them properly. But also, there's times where there might be 2 vowels at the end, and so you'll actually end up having to like stack them. Sometimes you might find yourself doing this, like, that's not a real word, but you'll end up doing the consonant and then 2 vowels afterward, so that you can, well, write them and say them and all that wonderful stuff.